Hi everybody, this is Diana Withy. Well, I wasn't expecting to be doing this broadcast in my garden, but hey, you know, the sun's shining and the signal's down in the house, so I'm trying to find a signal. So today we're going to be talking about morning sickness. Now, it's horrible, you know, it really does make you feel quite miserable, but hey, there are some positive things that we can do about this. A good thing is morning sickness is a good sign that hormonally your body is preparing for the pregnancy. It doesn't mean to say that if you've got no morning sickness that that's a bad sign. It's just that some do experience it and some don't. 75% of women actually do experience morning sickness. So what tends to happen is in the first 6 weeks you'll tend to find that you feel quite nauseous. This is normally a good indicator that you're pregnant. Okay, then what happens is if you are going to have experience vomiting with it, this tends to happen between weeks 6 and 12. Then after this it tends to subside. If you find that you are approaching week 12 and you are still being very, very sick, or you're finding that you cannot hold any food or fluids down, then you really do need to go and see your GP, okay? Other symptoms are dizziness, your heart racing quite fast, feeling very lethargic and dehydrated, the fact that you need to go to toilet quite often, but when you get there, there is nothing there. That's often a sign also of an infection, so it is worth visiting your GP here. It is also worth asking your GP early on in the pregnancy about vitamin B6. Okay, so what can I suggest to you? Now, you will hear all sorts of old wives' tales from everybody about, you know, what to take for morning sickness. What can you do? The most traditional that I hear all the time is a good cup of tea with a rich tea biscuit and a ginger biscuit. Now, I'm all for the ginger biscuit because the ginger actually helps to reduce the acid in the gut, so that's very, very good for you. Rich tea, bland and boring, but hey, who doesn't like a nice cup of tea with a rich tea dunked? Dunked? Yes. There's no other word for it, dunked. It gets dunked in my house. Okay, so, and talking about the tea, you need to be very, very careful because obviously we don't want you to have too much caffeine. So I would suggest decaffeinated. The other things I would say to you is keep a really, really bland diet. Don't eat great big plates of food. Sorry, my neighbour's just looked over the fence thinking, what on earth is that woman doing? Sorry. But hey, they don't know what I do for a living, so now they do. I'm talking about morning sickness, so God. Anyway, so going back, he's totally lost my trail now. The other things I would suggest is obviously the bland diet and eat some good protein before you go to bed, okay? Perfect. Now, what I also want you to do is not eat big full meals during the day, just snacks. So rather than the traditional breakfast, lunch and dinner, just have good quality snacks, small plates throughout the day. What I also want you to try not to do is to drink whilst you're eating, because that can actually make you feel very nauseous. Okay. The other thing is cold water. I know for a fact is if I'm being sick or I feel like I'm going to be sick, I'll say to somebody, quick, rush, get me a glass of water. Actually, that makes you feel quite yucky and worse. What you need to do is have tepid water. So if you're one of the sufferers suffering at the moment, what I would say is make a flask of water, allow it to go a bit cool so it's just tepid, and then you've got it there on tap for whenever you need to sip it. Okay. The other thing I suggest is peppermint, ginger, lemon or apple pops. So you're probably thinking, what on earth is a pop? Okay, so do you remember as a child the good old-fashioned Tupperware ice lollipops that, you know, your mums would have and they'd make up your juice lollies? Well, I'm talking about that. But what I'm talking about is using herbal tea though. So what you need to do is make it as if you're going to make your own cup of tea and infuse the tea bag slightly, okay, just so it colours the water and it isn't too strong. Then cool that, place that into the ice cream containers and pop it in your freezer. Okay, then what to do every day, just take one out and just every now and again give it a good suck or a lick, and let's see how that settles your tummy down. The other thing I suggest to people is I'm really, really good at saying, I feel sick, I need a peppermint. Now, some people will hate the taste of peppermint, okay, when they feel sick, and the thought of chewing on a mint will make them actually feel very, very nauseous. So what I suggest you do is you get a whoops, what do you call that thing you poke in your ear? Don't poke it in your ear, you put it in your ear. It's a neighbour, help me, this is when I need my cotton bud. Okay, so what I suggest you do is dilute some peppermint oil, get a cotton bud and pop it just around your gums, okay? Don't put it on the roof of your mouth and don't put it at the back of your mouth because that will make you feel sick, Okay, so that's really good tip. Ginger, I swear by ginger. Ginger is just amazing. Okay, so now we're going to go on back onto our milky bread. Okay, some will think, oh my god, you know, milky bread, what is she talking about? Milky bread is actually very good, and it's one of my top tips that I say for mums. So as I said, now here typically in Hartley Whitney we have no planes as such going over, but today, as you can hear, they want to fly. Marvellous. So boil some milk in a pan, toast your bread, then add a tiny bit of unsalted butter on it, break up the bread and add the hot milk, mush it up. It looks yucky, and it smells like hot Weetabix. Yucky, but it's brilliant for you. And then what you need to do is, if you sprinkle a tiny bit of ginger on it, mix it in, eat it. Perfect. Okay, try that and give me some feedback. You'll feel good on that. Next thing we're going to go on to is massage. Now, I've had a couple of people message me and ask me about massage and how effective it actually is. I am not a pregnancy masseuse at all. I massage my clients in labour only to help, but that's it. Now, what I suggest you do is, it's okay to have it, providing the masseuse is qualified in pregnancy massage. Now, the reason I say that is, when any of my clients are overdue, I will get them to have a pregnancy massage, or I will get them to have some reflexology. The reason behind this is it actually increases the blood circulation, which in turn will help the uterus contract. Now, obviously what we don't want is for your uterus to contract early on in the pregnancy, hence the importance of making sure that your masseuse is actually trained in pregnancy massage. The other thing I was going to say to you is acupuncture is actually very good too. And also acupressure. Pressure points on the wrist are very good. And the other one is at the side of the head, right above the eye, right behind the cheekbone. Now, I will explain what you need to do and how you need to do it, first of all, before I actually demonstrate. So what you would do is you would take a deep breath in. You will then put your finger on your temple, count and push, and do little circles. Hold it for 10 and then breathe out. And when I say breathe out, I don't mean go, I mean breathe out like you're blowing a candle. So this is it demonstrated. So keep your eyes closed whilst you do it. Okay. The last tip I want to give you is to get a cold flannel and place that at the top of your spine and just leave it there for a few minutes. Total bliss. Now, hopefully you've found some useful tips here. What I would say is just introduce a lot of ginger into your diet. Enjoy your pregnancy. I'm going to be on here most days giving top tips about pre and postnatal issues. For those of you that don't know about me, my name is Diana Withy. I am a pre and postnatal maternity nurse. I work all around the globe, have client base everywhere. I work with over 1,000 babies and clients. I am not a GP, I am not a paediatric doctor. I am just Diana, the maternity nurse, who has quite a lot of knowledge in a lot of the areas. Okay, I thank you all very much for listening to my video, and hopefully tomorrow I won't be busking in the midday sun getting burnt while I do this for you, and hopefully I've not squinted too much so you've been able to enjoy this. Okay, really enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Enjoy your pregnancy, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thank you very much.